good to see you here. Thank you so much for coming this afternoon. We've been working on this since the first week of August. That's no lie. So when the radio starts playing Christmas carols the first day of November, midnight of November 1st, it's on my radio. I am jamming Christmas for 2 months because I've been listening to it since August. Thank you so much for coming. We so appreciate it. This is the combined Handbell choir of First United Methodist Church and Western Avenue Baptist Church. And we do get along. We do. Later in the program, they don't know it, but I'm going to have them introduce themselves to you. They can just give you their first name or whatever. They don't know they're going to do that, because if you asked me to do it right now, I couldn't do it if my life depended on me. So it's like, okay, I don't know who they are. The only one I am certain of is my husband is in there somewhere, so I might know his name. Who knows? I don't even want to know what he just did. Christmas songs are everywhere right now. Every store, every restaurant, and half the radio stations are pumping out the Yuletide 24/7. This can get you in the Christmas spirit, or it can make you want to invest in earmuffs, one of the two. After all, Christmas carols are all over the map in terms of quality. Some are great, and oh man, they just make you want December 25th to get here. And then there's others that need to be banned. Grandma got run over by a reindeer, or a all I want for Christmas is a hippopotamus or something. It's like, where did this come from? Okay. In 1914, a Ukrainian composer, Leontovich, brought this masterpiece into the world. And over the last 104 years, there have been countless renditions and reinterpretations of this song. And I think you're going to recognize it. It is Carol of the Bells. On the first Christmas Eve, there were no brightly colored lights on anybody's houses. There were no stockings that had been hung with care, and no visions of sugar plums dancing in children's heads. It was just another night in Bethlehem. The census had gone out, that command by Caesar that everyone had to be taxed, but history was about to change in Bethlehem. All of Israel was living in a very frightening time historically. They lived under the tyrant King Herod, who would execute people at will. In addition, the Jews were living in occupied territory. The Romans had taken control of their country. Then suddenly, angels appeared to the shepherds, the lowest of the low, and told them not to be afraid. Imagine you're in a field and it's probably dark, and someone appears suddenly, a host of them, and tells you not to fear. The Messiah has been born. Here is the message of that very first Christmas, and the message for us this Christmas is, don't be afraid. I bring you good tidings of great joy. Fear is what Christmas came to remove, and now we have joy in its place. One night in Bethlehem. happens every Christmas. Hustling, bustling, shopping, traveling, cooking, parties, banquets, Santa Claus, pageants, decorations, trees, lights, clothes. We get caught up in the season of Christmas, stressed out about bell concerts, about making arrangements to see and please everyone, pressured to balance an already busy schedule with unlimited amounts of additional activities, pushed to attend, to give, to join, to gather, to perform. But it happens every Christmas. We're busily tending to our flock when out of nowhere, the calm and the peace and tranquility of Christmas comes into our life. We're never prepared for it. We're always stunned when it happens, and we're amazed. And we experience the awe of the Nativity, an event we never witnessed, but of which we somehow have mysterious firsthand knowledge. Silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright. Round yon virgin, mother and child, holy infant, so tender and mild, sleep in heavenly peace. It hits us when we least expect it. And the most amazing thing about this carol, and I'm sure by now you know the story of it, but the most amazing thing is we are celebrating its 200th birthday, December 24th. And it's still very relevant, and it just washes over us. This is probably one of the most beautiful arrangements of Silent Night I've heard in a long time. I hope you enjoy it. what you hear at the beginning, that is called singing bells. If you have ever taken a glass and a wet finger and you go around the top of your glass and you make that that's what they're doing. They're stirring their bell, but they're simply going around the edge, and it's called singing bell. And I love that sound. I think that's so pretty. Marie Grace did the chime tree for us, so those little tinkling things that you hear, that was her doing that. The tradition of French Christmas carols is a really lively one. You may know more about them than you realize you do. Bring a Torch, Jeanette Isabella. Angels We Have Heard on High. Sing We Now of Christmas, and O Holy Night are four that are probably among the most familiar and popular. Often considered to be the best known traditional French carol, though, is He Is Born. It comes from the region of Provence, and the original version had 4 stanzas and the chorus. A variety of translations into English exist, but the one that we most commonly use today is by George Evans, who was a Kentucky native who served as the music editor for the educational publisher Prentice Hall. Both the text and the tune date back to at least the mid-19th century. The refrain or the chorus is one of exuberance. One gets the feel of a street band accompanied by dancers spreading the good news of the birth of Jesus Christ. The band includes oboe and bagpipes, and these are instruments that definitely can be heard outside. Stanza 1 expresses the joy of a long-awaited prophecy fulfilled. Stanza 2 captures the spirit of anyone who first sees a newborn baby. It's kind of a poetic version of oh, isn't he so cute? You know? Stanza 3 is often left out of the song today. This stanza describes how a barn was the house for the child, and his bed was made of straw. The last stanza again exposes the paradox that the ruler of the world is a child who will reign over us. The rustic provincial character of this carol is its strength. The poor child is adored by humble, simple people who express their joy without pretense or guile. Perhaps this carol expresses that childlike innocence that we long for at this season. Transition of switching some places. I'm going to have them yell out their name to you, starting on the back row. On this side, she'll be the very first one, and say your name nice and loud. And I'm the accompanist at First United, member of Western Avenue, so I kind of have two hats here. But I'm handbell director at both choirs, but I'm also the accompanist here at First United. So please give them a round of applause. Cheryl Doucette will be joining us on this song, and this is going to be one of your favorites today, I know it, because it just turns this beautiful song, playing the piano with the bells. It's just gorgeous. The question asked in this well-loved Christmas carol must have been uppermost in the minds of those present at Jesus' birth. We can almost hear the question being asked from one another as they gazed into the humble manger. How difficult it must have been for them to understand that the baby who lay in such mean estate was truly the promised Messiah. How beautifully the triumphant answer to this imposing question burst forth in the refrain, This is Christ the King. This thoughtful text was written in 1865 by William Dix, one of our finest lay hymn writers. While a successful insurance salesman in Scotland, he was stricken with a sudden serious illness at the age of 29. He was confined to bed for an extended period, and he suffered deep depression until he called out to God and said, and in his calling out, he said, I met him in a new and a real way. Out of that experience came probably some of the most artistic and distinctive hymns that he's ever written, including this carol, What Child Is This? I think you will enjoy it. The origin of the text to How Great Our Joy is not known, but according to the New Oxford Book of Carols, it dates back to as early as 1500 AD in Germany. In 1623, the tune was modernized and given an echo setting where one group of individuals repeats what you've just said. There is speculation that the song may have been designed for a Christmas play in which the shepherd's lines were followed by an echo off stage. There are 9 stanzas in the original text, but in the United States, we usually only sing about 2 to 4 of them. I'm giving them a rest because the next 4 songs are going to take everything they've got. So, no. I shared with you, I am the accompanist here at First United. About 4 years ago, they started, we kind of had a turmoil with the organ. The organ was ruined because of a water leak. And I guess almost 5 years. And so that began a process of about a 2.5 year period of trying to rebuild this beautiful pipe organ. It was extremely stressful. It really was. And in the midst of all of that, towards the end of when we knew the organ was coming back in, First United decided that they would replace their piano. Oh my goodness, what a gift they have given me. It's probably, it's just one of the most delightful things to get to sit down and play. I realize this is a real selfish thing I'm going to do today, but you're here and you can get up and leave if you need to. One of the cool things about the organ is that you can record a song. So I can play the organ and record it, and then I can play it back and play the piano with it. That is so much fun. I am just so grateful that they let me do this. So I'm going to do it today. I want you to hear. I'm probably going to blast the choir out, unfortunately for them, because they're sitting right by the pipes. But you can't come here and not hear these two beautiful instruments. If I ever thought in my childhood I would ever have the opportunity to play an organ or a piano like this, it never came into my frame of mind. So I have such a joy to be able to do this. You're going to have to give me a couple minutes. I got to get it all together, music and all that ready. So, but I hope you enjoy Birthday of the King. had to hear that, you know. As I said, that was just I was being selfish, but I wanted you to hear. I just think that's cool to get to do that. As vast number of angels swiftly descended toward earth through the star-sprinkled sky, the leading angel halted them with a sign. Can't you just picture this? They hovered with folded wings over a silent field near Bethlehem. The leading angel just drifted slightly downward so that he could be seen by the shepherds below. Instantly surrounding the angel was this brilliant heavenly host, exalting and praising God for the long-awaited gift of his Son. The Bible teaches that angels are the ministering servants of God, and they are continually being sent to help and to protect us. But certainly their most important task, however, was this momentous occasion, announcing Christ's arrival on earth. Little is known of the origin of angels we have heard on high, but this inspiring 18th century French carol has become a favorite. earliest known publication of O Sanctissima was from London in 1785, presenting it as a traditional song from Sicily. The tune is often called Sicilian Mariner's Hymn. This hymn has been widely published in multiple languages. A German language version in 1816 became a well-known Christmas carol with the original lyrics by J.D. Falk. Oh, how joyfully, oh, how merrily, Christmas comes with its grace divine. Grace again is beaming, Christ the world redeeming. Hail, ye Christians, hail the joyous Christmas time. By 1835, the tune also came to be used for the English recessional hymn, Lord, dismiss us with thy blessing. And in 1945, it appears to have influenced the melody of the American Civil Rights anthem, We Shall Overcome. This carol we know today is, Oh, How Joyfully. It's December. It's cold. Well, maybe. And sometimes snow is on the ground. But as you look around, the spirit of Christmas is everywhere. Trees are lit up, families are spending time together, and things just seem to be a little more cheerful and bright. During this season, you often hear the chiming of bells. We hear bells on horse carriages disguised as sleigh rides. The sound brings a smile to your face. It reminds you of a song you sang as a child, Jingle Bells. In fact, you may even sing it in the car on the way home today. You know, nobody's listening. Go ahead and sing it. It's all right. But what's so important about Christians using bells? It's a symbol of gathering. When the church bell rings, people come inside to gather for worship. The Christmas bells provide tunes that generate a new hope and a new vision with hopes of change. And this change is Jesus Christ. We hope hearing our bells today get you into the spirit of love. Let it inspire you to give gifts of kindness as God gave us the gift of his Son. We have 2 songs left. Our next one is The Christmas Bells Are Ringing. much for spending the afternoon with us. You have no idea how much it means to see faces here when we work so hard at this, and then you think, well, nobody's going to hear us. But we thank you so much for coming. We thank you for your support and for being here. And we even have some that kind of, always, or if we're going to play somewhere, they're going to be there. So that makes us feel so good. Thank you to Cheryl Doucette for accompanying us. She's going to play the last song with us. Please give a round of applause to the choir one more time. Since the month of November, the beginning of November, we have practiced 2 days each week, 2.5 hours each day. This doesn't come together in a heartbeat. It comes together with much diligence, much prayer, a lot of patience, and a lot of unhappy times with the director, but that's what we won't talk about. So, no. We want you to take the opportunity this time to enjoy the time you have with friends and family. We get caught up in all of the things that go on. Take the time not to worry about the things that you have to do, but enjoy the people you get to be with. The best present you can give is for you to be present, to be with them, to let them know that you're with them, to spend time with friends, with family. It doesn't matter. Just be present. Be present where you are. And from all of us, we wish you the most merriest of Christmases. such an awesome group of people to work with. And being able to share the love of God and to bring the joy that He has given each of us is our Christmas gift to you. Thank you so much for coming today.
Rhonda?
Yes.
I would be remiss if I did not thank the lovely and talented Miss Rhonda for all of her work, all of her dedication, all of her love, all of the times that she didn't pick up a mallet and whap us with it. She has put in more hours than we realize, and Ralph has as well, I'm sure. So we would be remiss if we didn't thank her again.
We are playing again tonight at 6:30 at Western Avenue Baptist, so if you know somebody that didn't get to come today, you might call them and say, you do not want to miss that group. Thank you so much again. Have a great afternoon.